about a fun fact for you? Did you know the longest running festival in the state of Idaho still going strong? It's the Emmett Cherry Festival, and they're celebrating their 88th annual celebration. The festival has grown into a 4-day event over the years, and to a casual passerby, it has all the sights and sounds of a carnival, but at its core, it's all about the cherries. Specifically, local cherries grown in Emmett by Emmett Cherry farmers. But this year, some of the out-of-state fruit is helping make ends meet. One local supplier says the majority of his cherries aren't ripe yet, and he's still got more than a week until they're ready. So in the meantime, it's hurry up and wait. Here's Andrew Bartline.
Time ticks differently in an orchard.
It's been a pretty nice life out here.
Purchased in the mid-90s,
But these
this
are getting there pretty good.
has been Scott Tyler's life.
And they, of course, they don't have the color there.
In the week of the Emmett Cherry Festival,
Well, like we're missing out a little bit.
time can't tick fast enough.
We're still about 10 days behind, maybe a week on these Bing cherries.
Historically,
So that would go back to about 1997, somewhere in there.
the festival's been a big weekend for his orchard.
People will pretty much line this driveway with cars.
But his big customer this time
We'll get one.
doesn't care if it's ripe, long as it doesn't cost a dime.
Even Odie's eating the not so ripe cherries, but one of the things you can tell on a cherry if it's ripe is when you pull it apart. If it's not red all the way through and the juice isn't red, then you're not quite there.
Just out of time.
It would be a little bit, I think, more in line with the crop being ripe if the Cherry Festival were about a week later.
But the Chamber of Commerce says the festival's always been the second week of June. You guys are gamblers.
Well, yeah, with missing the weather this year, that's been a big one. And hail or heavy rain and wind will wipe out a cherry crop pretty fast, or at least take a huge toll on it.
Perhaps the biggest toll is time.
It's sad to see it change, for sure.
Mostly the change in industry.
So that had started to happen even when we first moved here. More orchards became subdivisions, and even our first house that we lived in over here, in our backyard, there were old fruit trees.
It started to change the business too.
At the same time, now it's kind of more of an agro-tourism kind of thing is what I guess you could call it now, where we do have a lot of people that are coming over here to recreate.
88 years and counting.
I remember hearing the sprayers going at night.
Counting the changes.
Gosh, they're just such a short
Accounting for the time.
window of opportunity to have them, to get them fresh. And there's just nothing like them when you taste one right off the tree.
Scott is happy to say some of his cherries are ripe in time for the festival, but the bulk of his produce does need more time. The Gem County Chamber of Commerce executive director told me the festival wants to only use local cherries, but they will turn to out-of-state cherries if and when that may be needed. And that depends on a lot of factors. Storms can come in, knock cherries off branches, destroy cherries. Freezing weather can kill those cherries too, and maybe even the bees don't pollinate quite as much as they need them to that year as well. So Joe, there's a lot of different factors. Yeah. The good news is it's not like Scott's going to be out a ton of money. We'll just sell them next week or the week after, whenever they are ripe.
Well, Andrew, quickly, I understand you tried the cherries. How are they?
Well, I'm allergic, and I didn't want to be rude, so yeah, that's why my eye was red today.
Okay, well, go clean up and
Great cherry, though.
Great cherry.
They're not quite ripe yet. They're a little
take care of
sour, but I
yourself.
kind of like the sour taste.
All right,
so.
well, Andrew putting his life on the line.
No.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back after this. You got it.